Valency, it is the combining capacity of an element. It depends on number of electrons in outermost shell, also called as valence shell of the element. The capacity of total number of bonds formed by an element are equal to number of electrons in the valence shell of that element. The valency of an element determines the chemical properties of element. Valencies of elements, which also called combining capacities of elements, were the basic guide in the development of classification of elements in the periodic table, and this concept was utilized by Mendeleev for placing elements having the similar chemical properties in groups of the periodic table. Here are some examples. Combining capacity of hydrogen with other elements is 1, so its valency is 1. So the number of electrons in the outermost shell, that is the valence shell, is 1. Electronic configuration of hydrogen, you can see here. The structure of the atom of the hydrogen is here. This is the nucleus. This is the valence shell, only having 1 electron. So in the valence shell, 1 electron, the number of the bond formed by the hydrogen is 1. You can see in the examples here, hydrogen only can form 1 bond. Here, 1 bond of the hydrogen. Here, hydrogen has 1 bond joining to the chlorine. In water, you can see hydrogens, they have 1 bond, 1 bond. In boron hydride, 1 bond, 1 bond, 1 bond. Similarly, valencies of chlorine, oxygen, and boron in the above examples are 1 for chlorine, 2 for oxygen, and 3 for boron. You can see here for oxygen, oxygen is bonded by 2 bonds. Boron is bonded by 3 bonds. The other example is from carbon with atomic number 6. The configuration and the structure you can see here. This is the nucleus. This is the K shell. This is the L shell. You see, L shell contains only 4 electrons. So the valency of the carbon is 4. Number of the bonds the carbon can form with the other atoms of the elements is 4. You can see examples here. Carbon is bonded to hydrogen through 4 bonds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Similarly, carbon is bonded to oxygen on the both sides through 4 bonds. You can count 1, 2, 3, 4. As carbon is placed in group number 4 of the periodic table, so its valency is 4. Its combining capacity is 4 bonds with other elements. Oxygen is placed in 6th group. Its valency is 2. It forms 2 bonds with other elements. The other members of the 6th group, like sulfur, selenium, Te, and Po, also mostly forms 2 bonds. excluding variable valencies. So electronic configuration of the oxygen is here. This is 1s2, the first shell. And in the second shell, we have two orbital, 2s and 2p. And the second shell, that is the outermost shell or the valence shell, comprising 2s, 2p, have 6 electrons. Only 2 electrons are needed in 2p orbitals to get total of 6 electrons. So valency of oxygen is 2, because by getting 2 electrons in 2p, 6 are completed. So the octet of the outermost shell of the oxygen would get complete. That is why the valency of oxygen is 2. You can see here the total number of the bonds formed by oxygen and hydrogen peroxide. Here, oxygen, 1 bond, second bond. Here you can see oxygen, 1 bond, and second bond. Here, in case of water, oxygen is forming 2 bonds. In case of carbon dioxide, oxygen is forming 2 bonds on both sides. Thank you very much.